Park?
Yeah, you can get in there. You go down.
Maurice, M-A-U-R-I-C-E, Luque, L-U-Q-U-E, spokesperson, San Diego Fire Rescue Department.
Firefighters arrived at the zoo.
Right, correct. The call came into us at 1:49 this morning that there was a fire. Initially it was reported in a restaurant, but when crews arrived, they found a fully involved gift shop structure. It's the Panda Shop, it's called, down in the Panda Canyon, which is near the large bird aviary in Panda Canyon, about 50 yards from the panda enclosure. So at no time were any of the animals endangered, no other structures were endangered. It was just this gift shop, maybe about 1,200 square feet, that was fully involved. Crews made a quick attack on the fire. They had the fire knocked down within about 15 minutes, but there's extensive damage to the gift shop itself.
Dumb question. Anybody's inside the gift shop or anybody of zoo personnel injured or hurt in this at all?
Well, there were no injuries whatsoever, and again, there was no damage to any other structures. None of the other animal enclosures nearby, none of those enclosures were affected by the fire. Again, there was a large bird aviary about 50 yards to the south, and then the panda enclosure about 50 yards to the west. But again, those enclosures were fine. The fire was contained to the gift shop. It was knocked down within about 15 minutes. We had about 25 firefighters here in all, and again, no injuries to any zoo personnel, no injuries or any effects whatsoever on the animals. And again, the fire is under investigation by our fire investigators.
Who reported this fire?
As I understand, it was people, the zoo security reported it. Again, it is really in the interior of the zoo. It's not really visible from the outside streets and all. So the zoo security is the one who called us, telling us that there was a fire in this structure, the gift shop structure.
Heard there might have been a little problem of them accessing, or was the zoo fairly good on response on having doors open for your fire department to
Right.
sneak in?
Again, we do respond to a number of incidents here throughout the year, mostly medical aid type situations. Our crews are very familiar in using the back gate, which had to be used this time to get into the canyon area. So there was no access issues initially. Again, some of our investigators later had some issues getting in, and the police had some issues getting out. But again, for a zoo that has animals inside, that's kind of a good thing. They had limited security here on hand to be at the gate to let folks in and out. But initially, again, our crews have ways of accessing the gate, and were assisted in that this morning when they arrived.
Any idea what the cause is at this moment?
No, the fire investigators are going through the structure right now. Again, there's extensive damage. The structure itself is made of a wood-type material, kind of a wood-type siding material, and the roof is metal. But the roof is caved in, and there's extensive damage inside the structure. They're going through it very carefully right now. It may not be until daylight when they have better conditions to try to determine a cause, but they're in there now trying to determine a cause, and they have not set a dollar loss as yet.
At this moment, it might be a stretch. Is the zoo operations affected whatsoever?
No, the only thing is, let me grab the phone here.
No problem.
This is Maurice. Affected. The only operations within the zoo that I'm told might be affected, of course, is they call it the Canyon Cafe, which is right next to the gift shop. It's not attached, but it's right in the same general area, and there's some benches out front and tables where people eat. The Canyon Cafe is where food is served. That may or may not be affected depending on the restoration of gas service, because all that service was shut off during the fire, gas and water service. So as I was leaving the scene just a few minutes ago, they were trying to determine the ability to turn on gas for the Canyon Cafe. So right now, all the animal enclosures are going to be fine for people to see, but the Canyon Cafe may or may not be able to be serving food there next to the Panda gift shop that burned.
Just curious. I noticed the zoo has a security force. They don't have any kind of fire department, or they weren't attacking this at all.
No.
They basically call you.
Yeah, right. No, the zoo called us, as they do for medical aids and other situations here at the zoo. We have a great working relationship with them, and again, they don't have a fire department or anything to extinguish fire extinguishment of this type. I mean, this was a large fire. Again, about a 1,200 square foot structure, fully involved when crews arrived.
And best estimates, from at least what I've seen, it was totally destroyed.
Yeah, it damages, again, it's an insurance department type thing or an insurance agent kind of call, but again, the fire was fully involved in the structure when crews arrived. They did attack it, they contained it to that area, it didn't spread to any other structures. Any kind of embers and all did not cause a problem anyplace else in the zoo. But yes, there's extensive damage. I mean, it might be considered destroyed, yes.
Anything else you'd like to add?
No, I think that's about it.
What time did the call go out?
The call came in at 1:49, and again, about 15 minutes later, the crews that were here, about 25 in all, it was a first alarm, meaning we had 4 engines and 2 trucks. Those crews had the fire extinguished within about 15 minutes.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you so much.